awesome Saturday, midday, and we are doing the third pre-club webinar for Blissful Wives Club. It's going to be so wonderful in here this afternoon, and I am beyond excited to be here. I'm beyond happy to be here, and I'm going to go through what I have planned very, very quickly so that we can leave this place quickly too. I don't want to waste time at all. All right, welcome and welcome. I just want to plug my phone. Awesome. Good. If you are with me, say hello. Type something in the comment section so that I will know that you are here. Wonderful. I'm so happy. I am so happy. So today I'm going to talk to you about what I title Through His Eyes. Through his eyes. I was very happy when that phrase dropped in my mind, because I was thinking, what can I call this particular webinar? What is the word that I can call it that would totally, absolutely communicate what I have in my mind? And then it came to me, Through His Eyes, and I was super delighted for that inspiration. Through His eyes. But before we go into that, I want us to quickly look at a short recap of the last two modules. How was it for you? How was the last two webinars for you? In the first webinar, we did Who Did I Marry? My God. Hey. Who did I marry? How was that for you? How was that for you? How was that for you? Like any light bulb moments. I said, who did I marry? And I was talking in that webinar about if you know your husband, how well you know your husband, levels of knowledge of your husband that you should acquire, things about your husband that you should know, questions about your husband that you should be able to marry. For you to be able to answer, right? That will go a long way to now impact how you treat him for best results, right? Do you remember that? And I spoke about, how you, when you know your husband very well, it will help you to be able to relate with him better. And when you're able to relate with him better based on that knowledge, I spoke about the knowledge gap thing. Based on that knowledge, then you're going to get better results. And when you have good results with your husband, your marriage is better. Then when your marriage is better, in turn, your life is better as a married woman. All right, that's what we talked about in module 1. I talked about personality. I talked about is nurturing, right? I talked about his nurturing and how it goes a long way to affect who he is and how he is. We said a whole lot of things in 1 hour 20 minutes. That was long. That was long, but very interesting. All right. So did you put to practice? Did you put to use the things that I spoke about in Who Did I Marry? Did you now go back home to look at your husband and say, this young man, oh yeah, let me even look at you. What can I say about you? Were you able to answer the question, who did I marry, at last? It was this time last week that we did that seminar. All right. Okay. And the second webinar, which we had on Wednesday evening, is common communication mistakes that wives make. My God, that is massive. That is massive. You see, after the first webinar, I got a feedback from a lady who told me something that really touched me. He said, thank you. From this webinar, I learned two things. I learned something, that my husband is not a bad man. I just did not understand him. That's what she told me. Can you beat that? And she goes to say, thank you. You helped me to avoid the mistake of divorce. I was saying that I had conversations with her that was bordering around divorce, even though she was not a client. And she's not, so I had not had a proper session with her, but she just reached out to me to say, I'm considering divorce. This past 10 years, I beg, I don't understand what is happening and all of that. And I was telling her, no, divorce is not a word you play around with, please. What other options have you explored? Have you even come into counseling with me? You haven't, so you cannot just be mentioning divorce just like that. But after that first webinar, she says, My husband is not a bad person. I just did not understand it. And based on this teaching, I'm going to make changes around here. And I know that things will be better. So happy for her. Love it for her. So did you carry out any assignments on module 1 or the first pre-club webinar, which is Who Did I Marry? Or the second one where we talked about the common communication mistakes that wives make? Hey! Okay, so I have a woman that has already registered, has paid a membership for Blissful Wives Club. And if you haven't paid yours, what are you waiting for? So this woman has paid her membership fees for the Blissful Wives Club. You know, we're already doing our setting up and things are going to get really intense, really interesting very soon. Right? So she has been writing to me about some challenges that she has been having with her husband. After the second module, that's common communication mistakes that wives make. Hey, she used one of the tools that I gave you, right? One of the techniques that I taught about how to get your husband to hear you. She used one of those techniques. Only one of the many that I mentioned in that webinar. She wrote to her husband. This is not the matter of she didn't say it. She wrote to her husband. Now, this husband has been unresponsive. He has been very angry. It wasn't a good situation that they found themselves in already. He was so unresponsive to her. He felt like he was pushing her away, did not want to engage in any way. Right? But when she put to use one of the techniques that I taught in the common communication mistakes that wives make, I'm telling you, the guy responded. He responded. He did not just respond. It was such a lengthy response. And they went on to engage. They went on to have communications. When she sent me the screenshots of their communication, gosh, I jumped up from my seat and I actually gave a dance. Like, I actually danced because I did not know that she was, that was so quick. My response to her was that it takes some people months in therapy to be able to have the kind of result that you had. It takes some people months in marriage counseling, some couples. But look at it, by just using one, as in, God, is this not amazing? By just using just one of the techniques that I mentioned, she got her husband to talk. That is huge. I'm not saying that they have been able to solve all of their problems, but at least he is talking to her. This was somebody that was angry, or as in, he was professing love in his response, that I love you so much. As in, it's not that I don't love you, I love you. Everything I do for you. As in, hey, can you see what can happen if knowledge is not available? And can you see the beauty, the power that we get? How empowered we are when we find the right knowledge and begin to make use of them. Can you see that? I'm so happy for her. She's in the Blissful Wives Club already. She has paid her membership and she's in already. And I know that come 14th August, we are going to do a whole lot. Gosh, if you see the syllabus that I have put, all the things that I'm bringing on board, all the people, I told you my mentor, she's giving us a free session. My two mentors, one is a man, one is a woman. They are giving us free sessions. My husband is coming on board the Eagle. He has no choice. He's coming on board. And a particular woman sent me a message this morning. Hey God, I was so happy. I was so happy. Big woman like that on Instagram. And she says, Fumi, I love you. I see what you're doing. And I want to give a free session in the Blissful Wives Club. Hey God. This is a woman that people pay her for her time. She says, I want to come on board the Blissful Wives Club and do something with you. I want to teach women about how to make money for a blissful life. And that is so important. Gosh, that is so important. Imagine. Well, do you know that money causes a lot of problems in marriage? It's high up there. Is high up there, ranks high up. When we say, let us look at what causes problems in marriage. Let us look at what causes dissatisfaction in marriage. Let us look at one of the reasons, or the reasons why women are not blissful wives, why they are not happy in their marriages, why they are not happy even in their personal life. Money, high up there. And she's coming to talk to us about money in the Blissful Wives Club. So Get on board. Get on board. Like I said, very affordable. Very affordable. 7.5 only for this first quote. Only 7.5, because that is not the normal price. All right. So did you put to practice what you have learned in the Blissful Wives pre webinars that we have been doing, pre-club webinars that we have been doing? Jovita is here. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. Did you put to practice the things that you have learned? It is important. All right. So that's by the way of introduction and like waiting for our guests, our people, Blissful Wives, to join. And now let us go into what I have planned for today. I'm not going to take a whole lot of your time. I promise. Let's go. So now, through his eyes, I want to talk to you about, I want to call your attention to something that you may never have thought about. And it is, how does my husband see me? How does my husband see me? I don't know if you've ever asked yourself that question before. I don't know if you have ever wondered about it before. I don't know if you have ever considered it before. But hey, this is something that you should begin to think about now if you have never given it thought before. How does your husband see you? How does your husband see you? If I were to ask your husband now, if I meet your husband, let's say we are doing an anonymous survey. Anonymous survey. Nobody will know that it is your husband that answered that question. You too, you will not know. Me too, I will not know. And I'm anonymous survey online, and we are filling some online forms. How do you see your wife? Describe your wife. What do you think your husband is going to say? You can answer the question in the comments. What do you think your husband is going to say? This is important. This is important. And I really just want you to think about it. What do you think your husband is going to say? I've heard a few men describe their husbands, their wives rather. I've heard men describe their wives in counseling rooms with me. You know, when I do marriage counseling, there's something I do. The first session, I'm with the husband or the wife, depending on who comes to me first. If it is the husband that books the session, I have the first session with the wife. Then the second session with the husband alone, right? Alone. If it's the wife that books the sessions, I have the first session with the husband first, then with the wife second. Alone, no, different sessions. Just trying to get them to answer this question. Tell me about your wife. If I'm with the husband, if I'm with the wife, tell me about your wife. How does your husband see you? You are going to be shocked at what I get to hear. This is the person you are doing your life with. This is your life partner. How did you get here? How did you get here? Can you say? So how does your husband see you, or how will he describe you? Is he going to call you a nag? Think on it. And that one is very popular. That one is very popular. Is he going to look at you? Is he going to see you or describe you as a wife? Does he see you as a nag? Does he see you as somebody that nags? In your interactions with him so far, are you repetitive in your requests and in your reminders? Is that how you have been acting around your husband? Think about it. Can you see? These our sessions are not for me to excite you. It's for me to get you to think, so that we can find a solution, so that we can change the narrative, so that we can change the story if need be and when need be. All right? So if there's a task for you, if there is a task that you want your husband to carry out, how many times do you tell him before he eventually carries it out? Adini, you're welcome. How many times do you say it before he carries it out? Yeah, many of you women, you are thinking that I'm reminding him now. I'm telling him if I don't remind him like that, he's not going to do it. If I don't tell him, he's not going to do it. Because if he's going to do it, the first time I told him, he would have just gotten up to get it done. And so that is why I have to give him reminders. That is why I have to say it again. That is why I have to tell you again. No, No, that is called nagging. Mm-hmm. That is called nagging. And so your husband sees you as a nag. So your husband sees you as what? As a nag. And he does not appreciate it. He does not appreciate it. In fact, he does not like it. And of course, if you are the kind of person that does that, leaving reminders over and over again for your husband, by now you would have realized, you would have noticed how he actually acts, right? When you begin to say those things. The reason why he's not getting them done is because you are saying it. You keep saying it. I'm telling you the truth. The reason why he's not doing what you are saying they should do is because you are going to say it 15 times anyway. And he's thinking, maybe she thinks I'm his child. Maybe she thinks I'm our child, and she wants to be telling me what to do or ordering me around. It simply doesn't sit well at all in any way. What do? Say what you have to say and leave it. If it's the one that takes out the trash, for instance, and it's time to take out the trash, just tell him, baby, or what do you call your husband? Whatever you call your husband, I call my husband baby. So take out the trash, so please, it's already full, help me take it out, and leave it there. You understand? Leave it there once. Leave it there. Do you think that's something you can do? Or, okay, let me move on. You will see other things now. Does your husband see you as pushy or controlling? I think that even works hand in hand with the nagging. When you say what you want him to get done and he doesn't do it, then you begin to go over it again and again. That's nagging, right? Sometimes this one may be about an opinion that you are trying to sell to your husband, an idea that you are trying to sell to your husband. And selling your ideas to your husband is what you are supposed to be doing. But some of us wives, rather than selling our ideas to our husbands, we are trying to shove it down their throats. We are trying to shove it down. We are trying to say that this is what you must do. This is what you must do. Then that makes you appear controlling, makes you appear pushy. That's not your feminine energy. The feminine energy is no longer there. And he cannot deal with that because, that is not what he's expecting from his wife. That is not what he thought he would be getting from his wife. Can you see that? Always insisting on your own opinion. Always insisting that things must be done your own way. What sort of pride? What sort of pride is that? As in, what makes you think that your way is better? Some women tell me that, yes, because I've thought it through, and that is what is best. That is simply the best. What makes you think that your opinion is the best? I was in premarital counseling with a particular couple. They are married now. The girl treated him so terribly, as in always correcting him, always reprimanding him, always chastising him. Everything he does is not good enough. Hanging out with his friend is not good enough. Coming home this time is not good enough. He did this, he's doing that, he's not supposed to. It was so much. So how are you? Is this how you're going to continue? At some point, I told her that, do you know that you don't have to marry this guy? This is so bad. Do you know that you don't have to marry this guy? Our opinion has to come tops first. We want to rent another house. You must have the first and the final say. We want to paint the walls. You must have the first and the final say. No. That's not good enough. That is not good enough. Okay? That is not good enough. So does your husband see you as a pushy wife? Does he see you as a controlling wife? After now, I'm going to go back to these things I'm saying and tell you how your husband will be acting to you, how he will be reacting to you, how he will be treating you based on how he sees you. Let me go on. Does he see you as a stubborn does he see you as a stubborn wife? A stubborn wife that cannot take correction, that insists on staying at one spot, does not negotiate, does not move, does not consider the thing. Does not say, okay, oh, it's me and my husband, though. It's not all about me alone. Can I make a little compromise? Okay, can we negotiate and meet halfway? Does he see you as a stubborn wife? And he's thinking in his heart, when person no be goats, is that what he's thinking about you when he interacts with you? Does it think that you are too needy? Heal. That's a real heal right there. And I've heard women, oh my God, I do everything for him. I create all the time for him. Whatever he says he wants, I do it for him. I even fold his clothes. All I just want is just some peaceful, just to stay with him, just to be with him. Like, and he's thinking that, oh my goodness, I need some space. Oh my goodness, I need a breather. Oh my goodness, I need some alone time. That is quite rampant, especially amongst women who fall into the soul companion category. I mentioned that in our first pre-webinar where we did Who Did I Marry? And I was talking about the soul companion kind of lover. Especially for women who fall into that category, right? If their husband is not in that category, and then they come off as being so needy, I just need you, I just want you, I just look at me, just look at me, see all I'm doing for you, see all the effort, see all the sacrifice, can you just stay with me? Are you so needy? This set of women, they make you look like their entire lives, their entire existence depends on this man. And they want him to be not just their best friend, but their only friend. They want him to be the one that makes them happy. They want him to be the one that gives them satisfaction. They want him to be the one that gives them their entire life fulfillment. They are not pursuing anything, not trying anything, not reaching out for anything. All they want is their husband. It's time. He should look at them. He should notice them. He should, oh God. Are you a needy wife? It's draining. It's draining for your husband. It is draining for him. And that is how he's going to respond if he sees you as a needy wife. Through his eyes. If you are to look at yourself through your husband's eyes, what does he see? Are you a needy wife? Are you too needy? Are you a stubborn wife? Are you a controlling or pushy wife? Or are you a nag? Let's move on. Are you quarrelsome? Does your husband see you as a quarrelsome woman? Just, was it yesterday? Yesterday, Friday, I was in therapy with a young lady, a young wife, a therapy session. And she began to describe, she spoke about her mom briefly. Can you see? A quarrelsome woman. A quarrelsome woman. I remember another story. This one is a friend, my husband's friend. The mom, oh my goodness, she was a businesswoman. Like when she's counting her money and says, this is the capital, we have regained the capital from these sales, this is the profit. How do we share the profit? She said, I pay my staff, I pay myself, then she puts money aside for fight. In case I get into a fight and wound somebody, he will treat the person. This is the money for treating the person. Very quarrelsome. Never ever leaves out, never misses an opportunity to fight with anybody. Is that you? Or in your own case, is it your husband you're always fighting with? You are awesome at work, so kind, so cool at work. You are very awesome in church, so respectful. You even carry pastor's Bible. You even offer to cook for your pastor. And you even make free clothes for your pastor, the pastor missus, the pastor's wife. You are cool everywhere. You even do outreaches to orphanages and the less privileged. All of those things until it's your husband's turn. That is when you want to show him how he's wrong, how what he said is not good. How you are not going to take that? How I don't take that? I cannot take that. Calm down. Calm down. Does your husband see you as a quarrelsome wife? How is he going to react to you? How is he going to relate with you when you have put yourself to him as a quarrelsome wife? Can you see this? Or to move on, are you an insatiable wife? Oh, so frustrating. Are you a wife that cannot be satisfied? Is that what your husband sees you to be? That no matter what I try, Ijanon, we will still fight. No matter what I do, she's not going to be satisfied. No matter how I tried, she can never be grateful. This is my wife. Let me lay down my life and they should kill me. For her sake, they should take my blood and give her in a bowl. I've not done enough. Is that the kind of wife you are? The kind of wife that never sees anything to thank her husband for, never sees anything good in what her husband does, never sees anything good about her husband. Are you that kind of wife? Are you an insatiable wife? Ask yourself, have you shown gratitude for anything? Is there anything good about this man? Anything whatsoever? Or have you made it your life assignment to tell him how displeased you are with him? How disappointed you are in him? Is that what you do every day? And no matter how he tries. One woman said, there's nothing about this my husband that is good. There's nothing about this my husband that is good. I gave her paper and biro. Be writing. We are not living here until you write. I say write the bad things about your husband on this page and the good thing about your husband on this page. She wrote the bad things about her husband. Maybe 25. Maybe 25 bad things. That this my husband is nothing to write home about. He does this, he did plenty. On the other page, I said, write the good things about your husband. She said, nothing. No, think about it. She said, I promise you nothing. I began to give her options. How many children do you have? They had 2 children then. I said, good. How did these children come to be? Where did they come from? Because this your husband is not good. How did you get pregnant? So that the normal way. Was sex ever good? She said that yes, actually, if it's sex is actually good. He actually, when they get to it, he actually creates time to satisfy her, to give her great sexual. I say, you say this man is not good. There's nothing good about him. Have you ever thought of, I don't want to talk too much. Have you ever thought of what it takes to give a woman a good time in bed? Have you ever stopped to analyze it? To look at a great sexual experience with your husband, right? And see the effort that goes into it from his end. Have you thought of it before? I will not talk too much. When we get to the inner circle, inside the Blissful Wives Club, that's when I will break all of these things down. You take that for granted? I said, let's go on. Those 2 children, let's talk about their school. He pays the school fees now. Are they not his children? I'm like, wow, you take that for granted. You don't know of men that don't pay their children's school fees. He actually even takes the children to school. He drives them to school. Wakes up early. Hey, wow. And you tell me that you don't know anything good about this man. That there's nothing good. The house you live in, tell me about it. He found the house and pays the rent. Wow. By the time I began to ask her questions, it was a really hot, revealing session for the 2 of us. That was an insatiable wife. The husband was doing things. He was working. He was trying. I'm not saying that he's perfect. He was trying. But she never saw or acknowledged anything The phone she was holding, he bought it for her. You know, when we went on in the session, she has a laptop that he bought for her. She has a car that he bought for her. But I told her, write the bad things about your husband, all the bad things your husband has ever done. She wrote a list of over 25. Write the good things that your husband has ever done. She said nothing. Bought you a phone, bought you a laptop, bought you a car, pays the house rent in the house where you live in, pays children's school fees, takes children to church, takes children to school, gives you great sexual experiences. I've already listed 7. I'm not living with them. I've already listed 7. Maybe there are more. It's just that this session happened like 2 years ago, so I can't really remember the details. An insatiable wife, an ungrateful wife. Is that who your husband is seeing you as? Some of us women, we are grateful for some things that our husbands do, but we don't verbalize. We don't say it. How will he know that you are grateful? We don't verbalize it. We don't say it. But when we are disappointed or we want something from him and he's not doing, that's the one we are going to start hammering on. And that's not nice. That's not nice. Okay? So are you an insatiable wife? Or are you a disrespectful wife? God forbid. This one is the one that will spoil everything. Are you a disrespectful wife? Do you know that respect means more to your husband than love? I hope you know. No. This is about some of the most popular sayings out there about marriage. Do you know that respect holds more power, holds more weight with your husband than love? I'm not talking to small girls here. I'm talking to matured women, married women, people that have already committed their lives. Like I said in our first webinar, you have changed your name. You have started having children. Your body has changed. Some of us married women, we are so stressed. That is why in the inner circle, I'm going to be teaching on how to distress, how to check for stress in your life, in your body, to distress for a better life and a blissful marriage. Some of us are so stressed. Responsibilities, it choke. You have children, you must care for them. Those children are even bearing your husband's name, safe. On top of all the work that you are doing. So I'm talking to mature women here. Mature women that want to enjoy their marriages. To be a blissful wife, enjoying your marriage and enjoying your life as a result of it. Are you a disrespectful wife? What do you want your husband to do with a disrespectful wife? What do you want? What? That's the worst thing you can be. I'm telling you. Disrespectful. One lady, she said she referred to her husband as Ode. They were not married yet. It was 10 days to their wedding. So she wrote Ode. See what this Ode is saying. In her chat with the fiancé, and she put it on her WhatsApp status. I messaged her immediately. Number 1, take this thing down. Ode that what? They said we are joking. And I've seen stuff like that on the internet. I don't want to marry a man that I cannot call Ode, that I cannot call fool as we are playing. I cannot call fool. There's no other word to play with in life. You cannot play with Oloworimi. You cannot play with Olori Okobam Bam. You cannot play with the emperor, the champion. You cannot play with that one. He's all there. You want to play with your husband. He's fool. You want to call him fool. We are joking. I now call him fool. You grow up. You can see, I'm talking to mature women here. Grow up. Never, whether jokingly or seriously, never Ode. Fool. That's that. Even the Ode said means fool. The Ode is Yoruba, right? It means fool. Your husband. God forbid. Don't be disrespectful, whether jokingly or seriously. Never. You have to learn. You see how I learned respect? I said to myself, who are the people that I respect the most? Remember, my husband and I, we met in the university. We were both in 400 level. So he's 1 year older than me. That's my husband. So you as in we are pals. We are pals. We are friends. Do you understand? When I was getting married, I said, I know that boyfriend is different from husband. Boyfriend is different from husband. Timba ma jere oko mi yi, right? If I will reap the fruit of marriage, if I will reap a good fruit, good result of marriage, I know that I have to put myself in order to know the difference between boyfriend and husband. So I asked myself, who do I respect? My father. Me and my father, I've never talked back at my father before. I'm not joking. I can't. It's not me. God forbid that I will talk back at my father. I can rant if my father does something I don't like to my siblings. Do you get? That daddy now said that, is this even good? Is it not supposed to even, I can rant to them. But talk back, it has never happened before. Same with my mother of blessed memory. Never, I've never talked back at my mother. So I put my husband in this place with these people. These are the people that I honor. How do I show my honor to people? As a Yoruba girl, I go on my 2 knees every time I see my dad to greet him. When I greet my father good morning before I got married, I go on my 2 knees. Same with my mom. When my mom comes back from work, I go on my 2 knees, even on the streets. I remember back then, on our streets in Lagos, where we grew up, that in Meron, I don't know if you know Meron, Alagbado local government area. When my mom is coming, if I'm outside, she's coming from work, I go on my knees. I mean, one day she even told me that, why are you kneeling in the middle of the road? She was out laughing. I collected her bag and we started walking home together. As in, I go on my knees. I told myself, this is now my husband though. All this honor that I've shown my parents, this same honor, it was taught to me from home. I've extended it to my aunties and my uncles. That's how I greet them and I don't talk back. I've extended it to my spiritual leaders at every point where I had a pastor, except from on campus in the university, where our pastors were also students, right? But in my own Baptist church, in the CAC church that I attended, all the churches that I've gone to, up to the church where we served before God now called us to start our own local church, right? I go on my knees to greet my pastor. I go on my 2 knees to greet my pastor's wife. Honor. I have transferred everything to my husband. I am not kidding. I would not lie to you. Now, my husband, I don't go on my 2 knees to greet him every day because it's not practical, right? And plus small still finish too. small still finish too has entered. Anyway, it's not practical, and even when I would do it, my husband would begin to laugh and say, stand up, please, just stand up. If you are alone, sometimes he's going to hug me. It leads to really wonderful, beautiful mushy things. But I keep him in that place of honor in my heart. Respectful. I do everything. It's not easy because the dynamics of husband and wife relationship is different from father and mother. It's different from father and daughter. It's different from mother and daughter. It's different from pastor and sheep, right? I understand. I try not to talk back. Everything I know about honor, I have brought it into my marriage. Welcome, Dami. You can always, start from the beginning, or if you want to follow live and then go back to the beginning, it's fine. But I'm so happy to have you. I have brought it in. Respect, very important. If you are a disrespectful wife, you cannot enjoy marriage. You cannot enjoy your husband. Because why? Respect ranks high up there for a man. There's nothing we can do about it. Respect ranks high up there for a man. Before love, you cannot even explain love without the respect. What you love me? What now happened? But you insult me. You refuse to, you don't do what I want you to do. You don't prioritize my needs. When I ask you to do something for me, you don't get it. I mean, all those disrespectful things. You walk out, you hiss, you shout at him. I mean, no, don't do that. Okay? So don't allow your husband to see you as a disrespectful wife, because it's not good. And the last one I want to talk about, or the second to the last one, is, are you an understanding wife? Are you an understanding wife? Hey, oh yeah, oh. Or you thought I would not talk about it? Are you an understanding wife? An understanding wife, just like you know, the slang out there right now. A wife that will take anything, no boundaries, no sense of self, no desire, as in nothing, no personality, no voice, no stamina, no stature, nothing. Are you a doormat kind of wife? Is that what your husband sees you as? That anything I do, she will take it. She doesn't even know what she wants from life. She doesn't have her own dreams self. So she has to take anything. And do you get what I'm trying to say? Are you that kind of wife? Or are you an articulate wife that your husband knows that this is what my wife does not like? This is what my wife will not take. This is what my wife expects from me. Are you articulate with your needs? I always jokingly tell the story of one time, my husband and I, we shared a car. And then when he wants to travel, right? So it means that I'll be the one driving the car. He will drive the car home on empty, like no fuel in the car. And he will travel the next day. I'm home with our children. You leave car on empty. He did it the first time. He did it the second time. He did it the third time. I called him, that baby, Abi, what's happening? My love. Kilo shele jeka kolabo. Let's talk about this. Don't leave the car empty for me. If I have to go out with the car, I want to start the car and move. No, I don't want to buy black market. As it will be so empty that my husband will now call me and say, if you are going out, branch at Ibrahim shop. You first of all buy 2 liters of black market, then you drive straight to the filling station and now buy fuel before you continue your journey. Who and who? Me, a babe, a princess. Me. I'm not branching at Ibrahim. I'm not buying black market. I will not. No, don't let us be doing that. Not me and you. Okay. So I told him, if you have to travel, service the car, right? Even if you are traveling for just 2 days, if you know that the brake is sounding somehow, there's one way you are managing it. Fix it before you go. Put fuel in the car before you go. Thanks, my love. I love you. And that is how we have operated since then. Don't be, no, you have rights too. You are not a doormat. You are not a decoration or a non-living thing in that relationship. You have needs too. You should be able to articulate your needs. When my husband and I, in the early years of our marriage, if we have a disagreement, I'll cook and serve him food. Because where I am coming from, right, in my mind, we are married for life. So disagreement does not mean that we will not talk to each other or I will not be your wife. If my duties to you as your wife, cook your food. I mean, that's basic. I will still cook. I will now say my husband will not eat. I don't know. He will not eat. I will be so surprised that, okay, because we had a disagreement and I cooked, you will not eat. Especially, he's always even more afraid when I stand up from an argument and I go straight to the kitchen to cook because it's time to make dinner, right? And me, I want to get what has to be done. I go to make dinner and I serve, and he will now say that he doesn't want to eat. Why did I go and cook the food? I had to talk to him that, baby, we don't do that in our family. We don't do that in this marriage. We are in it for life. Are you trying to say that if you quarrel, if we have a disagreement, you won't give me money if I need money? If we have a disagreement and I were to fall, God forbid, and twist my ankle, you will not help me out. You will not lift me up. You will not massage my feet. He said he would. And I'm like, okay, so why won't you eat when I cook for you simply because of a disagreement? He says he feels somehow about it. And of course, it has a lot to do with his family background. And, his experiences from his own family of origin, apparently. And I said, please, we do things differently in this new home. We don't have disagreements often, but in case we have a disagreement, if I cook for you, please, baby, you eat the food because I'm your wife and I'm doing life with you. You eat. You don't turn down food that I cooked for you. No, we are not doing that kind of thing in our own marriage. right? And even in the middle of a disagreement, I can tell my husband, come and massage my feet. He's my husband. I'm using him. I cannot have husband and not use the husband. I cannot have husband and not use the husband. Fight does not stop anything. Are you getting me? I will say, please, baby, can you massage my feet? So now, it has become the rule in our house. Can you see? It has not become, these are the things that I want as a wife. These are the things that I want to see. When you call me on the phone, you say, I love you, before you drop the call. Please, this is what I want to see. It has become what we do. Can you see that? So, there's no space for understanding wife. I'm not saying that you should not be understanding. Please, don't misunderstand me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You are not a wife that does not have needs, or that cannot mention your own needs, or cannot put structures in place to make sure that your own needs are being met. You are not that wife. You shouldn't be that wife. All right? And the last one is, of course, a blissful wife. Does your husband see you as a blissful wife? Does he see you as delightsome? Does he see you as so cool to be around, so wonderful to be around, so helpful, so full of joy, radiating bliss, radiating happiness? As in, of course, that is where you want to be. And that is what I'm going to be doing in the inner circle when you come on board for Blissful Wives Club, where you pay your token, your membership. This is what I am going to be doing with you, taking you from wherever you are in your marriage to that place. All right? Now, if your husband sees you as a nag, what is he going to do? I told you I'll go over it again. That all of these categories that I've listed now, what your husband sees you as and how he is going to respond to you, how he's going to treat you based on what he sees you as. Oh yeah? If your husband sees you as a nag, he is going to ignore you. You are teaching him to ignore you. He's going to be counting your voice. Hey, baby, come and take the trash out. Oh, one. He will be pressing his phone or doing whatever he's doing. You have still not taken the trash out. Two. But I said you should come and take this trash out. Three. He's going to be counting your voice. You will teach him how to ignore you. So that is one of the reasons why you don't want to be a nag. You don't want your husband to see you as a nag. So look at your behavior already. Are you already showing those tendencies? Is that what you are doing already, right now? Talking over and over, repetitive, with your requests and with reminders. Don't forget that we are going to see so person. Do you know we are supposed to go and see so person? Oh yeah, let's stand up. No, you are even stressing yourself. He's an adult. Do you know that some women don't come to terms with that? And I believe it's because of the nurturers, because of the nurturing tendencies that we have, which of course holds the home together. It is wonderful. But we overdo it with our husbands. Love your husband. Do you understand? Honor him. Mm-hmm. But that nurturing thing, focus it on your children. Be teaching them the right thing to do. Be that nagging thing, repetitive thing that you feel like doing. Face your children, not your husband. Babe, so it's time to do this. So, especially if the thing is not time bound, taking the trash out is not time bound. It may be annoying to you, it may be irritating that the trash is full and it's still there. Nice, I understand that. But you don't nag. Don't go over it over again. It's not helpful. He doesn't like it. He's simply going to ignore you. So don't teach your husband to ignore you. You have to be that woman. You know that you stand in your queendom as a queen. And when you give your word, you leave it there. Believing, knowing that your husband, your king, right? He knows what to do. Some of you don't even give those men the benefit of the doubt. You think that they are babies. How old was he when he met you? He was already an adult. But you want to baby him. All right? So don't teach your husband to ignore you. If you are pushy or controlling, you are teaching your husband to resist you. He's going to treat you like an enemy. You didn't know. Wait, those men, fight is already in them. Fight is in them because they are protectors. They are already protectors. They want to protect the home, protect the children, protect the wife, protect their territory from invasion. You are now trying to be pushy. He will fight you. You are teaching him to resist you. He's going to raise his voice. He's going to change his countenance. He's going to snap at you. If you continue to be pushy, if you continue to present yourself as a controlling woman, you cannot do that. I know that that's not your desire for your wife, for your relationship with your husband. A relationship where he's constantly resisting you. I know that that's not your desire. But if you don't change your ways, you'll force him to do that. So he's going to resist you if you are pushing and controlling. If you are stubborn, what is he going to do? If you are stubborn, what is he going to do? Is either of two things. He gets forceful, or he gives you gap. Like, he leaves you to yourself. Because he cannot connect with you. Do you know that you're supposed to be, he's supposed to see you as soft and I want to protect this person. I just want to love you. I just want to serve you. I just want to make you happy. I don't know. He's supposed to see you as an egg. Like somebody that is worth protecting. Somebody that is worth standing up for. That is what he wants to see you as. That is probably what he saw you as. Right? Now, you are stubborn. Argumentative. Always arguing. You are stubborn. He's going to get forceful with you or leave you so that you can go and be fending for yourself, since that's what you feel like doing. Do you get that? Someone has a question. Well done, Ma. Okay, in terms of being a respectful wife, especially as a Yoruba wife, I use air for my man because with parents, pastors, older persons, we use air for them. But I heard it doesn't make friendship thing bond well. What is your say about this? Fantastic. Oh, I love this question. I love this question. Culture matters a lot. I love it. So for your own peculiar situation, what do you think? Are you friends with your husband? Are you people friends? Do you people laugh together? Many people are of that opinion. I don't know, because I don't use air for my husband. I use air for him when we are in public, right? But when we are at home, I use O for him. When we are with our close friends or with my siblings, I use O for him, because that is exactly how we communicate. That is how we have always communicated. And I purposely did not change that. So I use O for my husband. But when we are in church, for instance, that we are in public, I use air for him. When we are with our mentors, I use air for him. When we are with people that are not close to us, I use air for him. So I've perfected the switch over the years. I've perfected the switch, and it doesn't do anything, as in nothing has changed at all in our friendship. We are still such good friends. Last night, my husband got some casual clothes. He bought them, and when we were on the car back home from our day, he came to pick me. Then we went to his office and we stayed for like 2 hours, and then we started coming home together. So he was telling me about the clothes he got and everything. When we got home, I was cooking zobo for the house yesterday, right? So I cooked the zobo 2 nights ago. So yesterday I sieved it out and I was sweetening it, and he was sending the children to come and call me now. I should come quickly now. I should come quickly. So I just left everything and I ran upstairs to go and see him. Why was he calling me? He wants to be changing the clothes. He wants to be wearing the casual tops he bought. He wants to be wearing it and changing it so that I can be seeing it and be telling him my opinion about it. It was so much fun. We're just playing like children. Really fine, turn around. I like the brown. Oh, turn around. I like the black jeans. We're just really, really having fun. It doesn't change anything for us. I don't think that it will change anything for you, especially if there is a significant age gap between the two of you. Or why did you come up with that in the first place? Why did you start using air for him in the first place? I don't think it will change your friendship. It will communicate a lot of honor, though. It will communicate a lot of honor. All right, I hope I've answered your question. Let me know if you have you need further clarification. All right, so if you are stubborn, it's going to be forceful, or it will leave you to be fending for yourself. Since you don't want the baby girl treatment, you don't want the baby girl life, it will leave you. If you are too needy, if your husband sees you as a woman who is too needy, he's going to withdraw. He's going to be forced to withdraw, because all of that attention that you are bringing and all of that need that you are needing is sort of just too much for him to bear. And when he gets to a time that he actually needs you, he needs a hug, he needs to connect, to talk, right? He's going to remember that if he comes to meet you now, you will not stop at 2 hours. You will not stop at 1 hour. You are going to just be trying to swallow, trying to, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to describe. Just trying to take in all of him. And so even when he needs you and he wants to connect, he will be forced to withdraw so that he doesn't lose himself. All right? If you are a needy wife, that's what he's going to do. If you are quarrelsome, it's almost an hour now that we've been here. If you are quarrelsome, if your husband sees you as a quarrelsome wife, he is going to avoid you. He's going to avoid you. A man does not want his wife to be quarrelsome, be fighting all the time. All our interactions is quarreling. All our interaction is argument. All our interaction is abba. No. He will be forced to avoid you. Those men, they close from work and go to the beer parlor. For some of them, it's not the love of beer. It's just that they want to reduce significantly the amount of time they have to spend with their wives. I'm the counselor. They confess these things to me. They want to reduce significantly the amount of time they spend with their wife because she's quarrelsome, she's insatiable, she's disrespectful, all of these things. Can you see that? So if you are quarrelsome, you are teaching him to avoid you. He will be lonely, you will be lonely, but you cannot enjoy each other because you are quarrelsome. You don't want to be that wife. Are you insatiable, the insatiable wife? Does your husband see you as insatiable and ungrateful? You are teaching him to withhold. He's going to withhold. You don't know. He's going to soon stop doing the things. The one he's doing that you are refusing to acknowledge or say thank you for, but rather you complain and complain. All those ones, he will soon withdraw. He will stop doing everything. He will be told his time from you. He will be told his attention. He will be told his giving. He will be told. If you are insatiable, you don't want to be that wife. If you are disrespectful, I don't even know. I told you that this is the worst. I don't even know. You cannot enjoy that man. That's all I can say. You cannot enjoy that man. And wives, why are you married if you are not enjoying your husband? Why are you married if you are not enjoying the marriage? It is going to spill into other areas of your life, your business, your career, your ministry, your writing. Some of you are mentors in your own right. You have such good experiences. But if the home front is not settled, how will you mentor the people that God wants you to mentor? How will you tell your stories? How do you get? You don't want to be a disrespectful wife. Okay, Adoni Talks, thank you. All right, thank you very much. I'm glad that I was able to help. Thank you. Or are you an understanding wife? If you're an understanding wife, you know that understanding wife that I described, allows anything, takes anything, doesn't voice her own opinion, doesn't share about her own need, doesn't make demands, it's just there, anyhow. It can lead to abuse. Just wanting to please and nothing else. It can lead to abuse. I have a woman like that in my hand. I will tell her that stand up for yourself now. You don't say it now. Maybe you don't want. Maybe you don't like this. Hey, why don't you just say it? At one point, I told her, okay, will you involve your parents? Should your parents talk to his parents? Should we involve the family? But the main issue is that she was just that woman that will take anything. And so her husband is taking advantage of that. He's taking advantage of her. So now he's being disrespectful. Now he's being abusive. The other day she told me he chased her out of their matrimonial bedroom, that she should go and be sleeping in the parlor. What disrespect. What disrespect. Over what? Over what? Like, I felt like shaking her. What is wrong with you? But she's that wife. The husband already knows that she will take anything. She has no voice, no presence, no personality in her own home, in her own marriage. And so the husband is taking advantage of that. If you are a blissful wife, hey, my kind of wife, the kind of wife I want you to be. The reason why I'm inviting you into the inner circle, so that you pay your subscription. Small money for this first cohort. If you are a blissful wife, how will your husband treat you? How will your husband treat you if you're a blissful wife? A blissful wife is skillful in communication, first of all. She's respectful. We cannot take that out. She's gracious. Oh, I love that. How did I learn graciousness? How did I make myself into a gracious woman? Into a gracious wife? When my husband offends me, this is how I started. When I see that my husband has offended me, and I realize that he's remorseful, I already see now that he's sorry about what he did. I will just go and hug him. I will just move close to him and hold him close. And I'll just say, should I get you tea? We like tea. Do you understand? I know he wants to apologize. I make it very easy for him. I will now say, I love you so much. And in as much as what you did, I didn't like what you did, but we are here for life. Here for life. That's our slogan. We are here in this marriage, me and you, for life. And I just love you. It wasn't easy at the beginning, but now very easy. Very easy for me. So gracious. So gracious. Helpful. That's the blissful wife. You are empathetic. You understand his struggles. You try to put yourself in his shoes. You don't make demands when you know that he's already struggling with something. Let me give you an example. We have a dog who is now is now grown. He's about 8 months old now. But when he was an infant, a little puppy, there's a food that that we are supposed to feed the dog with. Now, I told my husband from the beginning that I will not care for any dog. Can you see? I'm a blissful wife. I can say what I want. You understand? I can say what I cannot do. I told my husband, I have 4 children to look after. I cannot take on a puppy with it. And we agreed on that. So he got the puppy, and it's his job to take care of the puppy, to cook for the puppy. And now my husband enters the kitchen. I gave him the pot to be using. I gave him everything he needs, right? He will enter the kitchen and start cooking. And sometimes I'm just going to feel for him. Graciousness. It is his responsibility, right? Not mine, but it stresses him. I can be in the kitchen for 4 hours. I can be cooking and be creating a syllabus. I can be doing kitchen work and be teaching children homework. In fact, I go to the kitchen to even make snacks. I don't have work to do. I'll say, let me just go and be making puff puff. Do you get? That's a space that I am used to, and I'm adept there. My husband struggles. He will not be cooking the food. One day, he came to vote it, he came to meet me. That I was cooking it and staring it. Oh, what me lower? He was not showing me his hand that the thing splashed, and then the hot is like is a cereal right? It has a pap-like consistency. The thing splashed from the pot and jumped on me. I said, oh, my baby, sorry. Did you put salt? They said, if you put salt, it will help. Anyway, after like a week of watching him struggle, coming back from work and going to the kitchen to go and start doing that, when I've already even made dinner is already ready, kitchen is already clean, I'm already done with kitchen work, I said, you know what, I'll be doing it for him. So when I enter the kitchen in the morning to do my normal work, I will just put the food on an extra stove and get it done. When I'm in the afternoon or something, when I'm in the kitchen, I'll just put it on an extra stove and get it done. Being so graceful to him, helping him. I could stand on the promise that we made and we will not fight. It will not lead to quarrel. I could stand with the promise that we made from the beginning, our agreement, that it's your job to take care of your dog. You know that I cannot add that to my responsibilities. And I will be right to do so. But I am a blissful wife. I step in when need be. Because I'm also strong. I step in. I extend grace to him. So I took over helping him to make the meal at that point. At last, we now had a help, a living help. I taught that one how to do it. And the stress was off both of us. But do you know that my husband will remember? Even if he doesn't say thank you, of which he said thank you several times, even if he doesn't say thank you, he will be more tender in the way he treats me because of this singular act of graciousness. Are you getting me? These are some of the things I'm going to be teaching you when you pay for your membership. A blissful wife is open-minded, supportive, caring, and she is getting her needs met. She's not putting herself as number last in the house. She's not putting herself as the last person that should be talked about or should be cared for. No, there's a technique to doing this thing. A blissful wife is also cheerful. My time is up. I wanted to stay for only 1 hour, but let me just leave you with this. The atmosphere of the home depends on the wife largely. The atmosphere of the family, the atmosphere of your home, your children, the relationship with all of you in the house largely depends on the wife because you are the nurturer, right? You are the nurturer. And being a blissful wife involves being a cheerful wife and a cheerful mother. This is deep. A blissful wife, cheerful, can calm down tough situations. And at the same time, lack of bliss, lack of laughter on the mouth of a wife, lack of laughter, lack of smiles, lack of jokes from a wife can dampen the atmosphere of the home. I'm leaving you with this, never forget it. The atmosphere of your home, the atmosphere of your family, your children's perception of what home is largely dependent on you as a wife. When you come into the inner circle, I'm going to teach you the skills. I'm going to hand you the tools. I'm going to tell you about techniques that will take you from wherever you are now to being a blissful wife. Remember that for this first cohort, it is 7.5 only for 3 months membership. That's a giveaway. We hold classes, video classes once a week. I'll be supplying you with workbooks to help you document your progress, workbooks that shows you the lessons that we have just learned, workbooks that you will use to now document what you have to do, right? We will be revisiting once a week the progress. What have you done so far on what we spoke about in the last class, in the last webinar? We'll be revisiting that once a week, meaning that we have 12 superb lessons. I'm going to be sharing the syllabus very soon. 12 superb lessons that I will be teaching you as a blissful wife, as a kingmaker that makes other kingmakers. I'm going to be teaching you those things. Then we are going to be having bonus classes. I already have 4 bonus classes lined up. Hey God, 4 bonus classes lined up, 7.5. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. If you miss this one, you will pay for the next one and you will pay higher. That's just it. Because the value I am bringing, like I am walking in my calling. I would like to share with you, oh my goodness, I would share my writing from 2014 about helping married women. From 2014, 10 years ago. I'm coming in the volume of the books written about me. This is not something I just thought of from 2014. And this is God's appointed time. I want to see you in the inner circle. Thank you for joining this morning. I appreciate you. Oh, it's afternoon. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. I love you. And I want to see you in the Blissful Wives Club. So that's a goodbye. That's a goodbye. The third webinar concluded. Gosh, I feel so good. Thank you for coming with me all the way. Thank you so much. See you later. All right, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Please subscribe if you haven't. Very important. Subscribe now. Subscribe right now. Subscribe right now. And also, the link to join the Blissful Wives Club to pay for your membership is on this video already in the description. So just follow the link, and that will be all. Bye. Thank you, Catherine Jegede. I appreciate that. Take care, guys.